Our location is 909 Elm Street. The Shaskin Pub is open 7 days a week from 11:30 a.m. to 1 a.m. and offers the best food and drinks in downtown Manchester.
This hour on WMNH is proudly sponsored by CGI Business Solutions, located at 171 Londonderry Turnpike in Hooksett. Serving all your employee benefits planning, design and administration, investment and wealth management, and customized business insurance solutions. They are available at 866-841-4600 or on the web at cgibusinesssolutions.com.
You are listening to WMNH-LP, Manchester's radio, broadcasting at 95.3 megahertz frequency modulation from the top of 1000 Elm Street. Our studios are located at 1045 Elm Street and licensed to Manchester Public Television Service in Manchester, New Hampshire, USA. Contact us by email at wmnh953@gmail.com or through our website at wmnhradio.org.
I woke up in the White House. Oh my God, I'm president. I'm so rich and I'm an ass. And there's a wig on my head. I just FaceTime Putin. I told him I'm his biggest fan. Got so much scandal on the front page. Holy build a wall. Ooh, I can tweet so well. Wonder if I can say the N-word. Wait, can I really say the N-word? North Korea. North Korea. In North Korea. North Korea. In North Korea. North Korea. North Korea. North Korea. I woke up in Donald Trump's body. So orange, overweight, and slightly balding. Now I got no choice but to ruin this country. I can't believe that it's Freaky Friday. It's Freaky Friday in Donald Trump's body. I eat pizza the wrong way and I drink water like a
Donald Trump, he's lost it up here. I stand up here giving speeches for an hour and a half, many times without notes.
Could be other people also. There's a lot of people out there.
Says who?
Hello, everybody. Welcome. Yeah, my voice is still recovering. It's Matt. My voice, oh my goodness. I can't even get through the open without my voice cracking. I sound like Kirk Cameron on Growing Pains, for those of you who are old enough to remember whatever it is that I'm referencing. I'll try it again. Hey, it's Matt Connarton, Unleashed in the Afternoon. We are live on WMNH 95.3 FM, emanating from downtown Manchester, New Hampshire. New Hampshire? Streaming at WMNHradio.org. You can also find WMNH, of course, on the TuneIn app. Let's see. You can watch on Channel 97 Comcast if you're in the Manchester area. And, of course, also online via Facebook on the Matt Connarton Unleashed Facebook page. And I see Derek Evan Relaford also already in the Facebook live chat. Hello, Derek. And, of course, that's one of the ways that you can communicate with me during the program today is via Facebook Live. But better yet, you can give us a call, 603-250-6007. And if you call, you get to talk, which means I get to talk less. 603-250-6007. Not that it hurts to talk, really. It actually, I sound worse than I feel. And I'm definitely past the worst of this little bug that I've got. And by the way, it is Friday, September 7th, 2018. Oh my goodness, Glenn R.J. Ouellette has just entered the studio, but I think we also have a call. Hi, welcome to Matt Connarton Unleashed in the afternoon. Who's this?
Oh, this is Eric.
Well, hello, Eric. How are you, sir?
Yeah, I was having to turn on the TV on Channel 10, and they said to avoid the area. I guess there was a deadly shooting on Hanover and Maple Street.
I had nothing to do with it, and I don't know what
Right
you're
here
accusing
in
me
the
of.
Queen City of Manchester.
Oh, Glenn, your mic's not on. Hang on there. Say that again, sir.
It was
Yes,
breaking
we
news.
are-
But they just
we
had
are-
they
well, it's
took off
not breaking news.
That
It
guy
hap-
off the street the other day. He was trying to.
It's
he
not
was trying to
breaking
ram
news,
his,
Eric.
car into some police officers. I tell you, son.
Eric, it's not
There's
breaking
some,
news. It
loony
happened
bins-
at
loony bins
11
out there
o'clock
in the
this
Queen City the
morning.
last couple of days.
And you would know, Glenn. You're sitting at the news desk.
It happened around 11 o'clock this morning, and at 1 o'clock they had postponed releasing school for security. I do not know if they released it yet, but it looks like everything's under control now. They are looking for one more person, and
Did somebody
yes.
get killed, Glenn?
Well, no, I had heard that too, that someone had passed, but then in talking to the news people, it looks like they brought that person to a hospital and that person is being treated. They are looking for a second person. I don't know if they found him yet.
Glenn, it's moments like this you are a calming, reassuring presence, and this is why you truly are the people's mayor.
I sent you a message on
According
your
to Channel
Unleashed
10, they
thing.
said it was a
talking-
deadly
talking
shooting on
fine.
Hanover and Maple Street.
Yes, which is not far from Central High School. So it explains why when you have a shooting within blocks, you secure an entire region because people run. And that's what they're looking for another person for. Someone has gotten out.
I know that when there's a shooting, at the very least, I will walk at a brisk pace to get away from it.
The sign says they're right
Oh,
up here.
boy.
Oh, my.
I know tomorrow they're planning on having a block party around that area. Boy,
And it will be
they might
secure.
tell some people not.
It will
maybe,
be.
some people might be a little timid to come by tomorrow.
No, it
you know,
will
when
be
they see
fine. By that
with the
time,
shooting.
everything will be secured. The helicopters, by the way, are already gone. There were 4 or 5 helicopters in the air, and they're gone. So it's already being secured. Let's not scare the public now.
So they canceled school the rest of the day at Central High School?
No, they did not cancel school. They wouldn't let them out of the building so that they would be secured.
Oh, lockdown. Oh,
No,
all right.
there's no lockdown. They were just told not to leave the building. They made it very clear it was not a
Oh,
lockdown.
all right.
Let's not scare the population
boy.
now. These things do happen in a city, and it's unfortunate that it's happened again after what happened last night. But you know what? Our police officers are very capable, and I'm confident that they will make do in finding this person.
Don't be a scare monster, Eric. You're going to upset Heidi Hamer, who joins us on the Facebook Live
Yeah.
chat.
All righty.
So
Very well. Have a great show.
All right, thanks, Eric.
I plan on being at that block party and also tomorrow at the Art Fest at Arms Park.
I hope Eric wasn't offended me calling him a scare monster.
Oh, guys.
No, he's calling back already, so apparently he's fine.
You are funny.
I am.
You've learned the Peter White tricks, haven't you?
I have. He has taught me well. You know what I experienced today, Glenn R.J.
What's
Ouellette,
that?
is so as I was leaving the house to come here, I saw a woman walking her 2 small dogs. I don't know what breed they are. I don't know breeds or anything. I mean, I know some breeds, obviously. Like you see a collie, you know it's a collie if it looks like Lassie. But she was so this woman was walking these two dogs, and the dogs were black and white. And I noticed her outfit was also black and white. And I thought, isn't that interesting? She matches her dogs. I wonder if that was intentional.
I would probably say yes. I'll tell you why. A lot of people who have pets sometimes don't have children. Those are their children.
Yes.
And they treat them like children. And in this day and age, you also see a lot of dogs and cats that are dressed up.
Well, then I thought, well, they weren't dressed up though. They just were black and white. But she was dressed to match her dogs.
Oh, his fur is black and white.
Right,
Okay.
yes.
I thought they had the same kind of outfit.
I thought about stopping and asking her, ma'am, was that intentional? Because I was genuinely curious. But then I thought, well, what if she thought I was some weird freak or something?
Really? She'd say, sick him.
Well, that's the thing. And then what if she sicks one of the dogs on me?
Yes,
now
right.
I'm in a vehicle.
How many dogs did she have?
There were 2.
Oh.
But what if one of the dogs jumps up and like bites me on the face or something? And then what do I do? Because, I'm on my way here to do a live radio show. Kind of have to be on time. It's not like I have time to go to the emergency room because a dog just bit my face. But what if the dog jumped up and just, stayed there and was attached to my face? Do I sit here and do a radio show with a dog attached to my
dog
face?
would go woof, woof.
I don't know if we're even allowed to have pets in here. So, long story short, Glenn, R.J. Ouellette, the people's mayor, I'm relieved. I think discretion was a better part of valor, and I'm glad I didn't, even though the curiosity was eating away at me or nibbling as a dog nibbles at a bone, I'm glad that I did not ask her, and I just kept going.
I have to ask you,
yes.
Do you have laryngitis?
No, it's just a cold, but it's
it's
all in my
infectious,
throat.
Is it?
There's no way I'm contagious at this point because
Thank
I'm
you.
already.
I would have left the room just like that.
Well, because I'm already over the worst of it, and from what I understand,
When did this happen? I talked to you a couple of days ago, and it wasn't like that.
No, I've been sick for a number of days, but it's like I said, right now it's just kind of all in my throat, which is why I sound this way. But I think that because I've always heard that you're actually most contagious in the very beginning of when you get sick. So I'm already past the worst of it. So being on the downside of it, I'm
in
sure.
your throat, so to speak.
Yes.
Vous parlez pas français, monsieur?
Oui, or something. But I kind of, you know what? I mean, I don't like the when my voice cracks, but I do like when my voice is nice and low. I kind of wish my voice would stay that way, nice and low.
It is low, and it sounds almost like an echoing effect.
Yes, I sound like Wolfman Jack. You youngins will have no idea who that is.
Hey, I'm not that old.
I didn't say you were. I just said you youngins will have no idea.
You'd be surprised.
Who that is?
How young are you talking about? Teenagers know who that is.
You think your average teenager knows who Wolfman Jack is?
I don't know about the average, but a lot of them do.
Oh, yes.
I mean, even in this day and age, people are into things like that.
People are into things like Wolfman Jack?
Oh yeah, there's a lot of movies out and sitcoms on TV about vampires. That's a big thing.
Vampires are a big thing. Are you a
Yeah.
fan of the Twilight series?
I used to like the Twilight. I don't watch them anymore, but I used to like them.
Really?
Yeah.
That's not the answer I was expecting. My goodness.
Well, it challenges the mind.
Does it really?
Yeah.
Okay.
You have to broaden your horizons and be open.
Sure. Right.
Or you'll never become the people's mayor.
Right. Well, there can be only one people's mayor.
Really?
It's like the Highlander. In the end, there can be only one. You're like the Highlander? Are you familiar with the Highlander?
Yes, I am.
R.J. Ouellette.
Well, do you think people are so ignorant? We watch all that stuff.
I can honestly tell you, I personally have never watched any of the Twilight films.
No, I suspect you're not old enough? No, I wouldn't say that. It just never interested you.
Right.
Yeah.
When those movies were coming out, they appealed more to, say, 16-year-old emo girls.
Well, I see. I've always loved
and you.
I've always loved
apparently,
horror movies, and
right.
I categorize it as not much different.
Yes. Okay. Well, that's fine. So, who do you think wrote the op-ed in the New York Times?
It wasn't the People's Mayor. Was it Unleashed?
Now, okay, I have to point something out here. So I didn't ask if it was you, but you just kind of jumped to that, which makes me think it was you.
Oh, really? Was it you?
But you're not a senior
No,
senior
I'm
official
not.
in the Trump
I'm
administration.
not even
are
a
you?
low official.
But here's the thing. If you talk to Kellyanne Conway, she makes it sound like, oh, it could have been anybody. It could have been one of thousands of people.
Could have been her.
Well,
I doubt that, though, but it could have been.
I don't doubt it. Yesterday on the show, I said that I thought it was Dan Coates, and I played...
No, it's not him. If anything, it probably... If somebody high up, I would probably look more at... And I'm not accusing because there's no evidence, but I would probably look more at Kelly. Kelly is in charge.
Oh, General Kelly? General
Yes.
John Kelly? Chief of Staff?
He has a big role in the White House, and he controls pretty much the staff. So if there was a group of staff members whispering about the 25th Amendment, it doesn't happen right there in the office unless the chief allows it. So he's the higher up. And they and Kelly and Trump have had their words before. We all know that.
Right. What would you do if you were mayor of Africa and someone wrote an op-ed about you?
Well, first of all, they would never write an op-ed against me because there's no such thing as mayor of Africa. Again, I'm trying to educate you that Africa is a continent. They don't have mayors for continents. Where did you go to school?
How am I supposed to know this, Glenn?
Not in Manchester. That's the problem.
I don't even own a globe. And I'm supposed to know this.
But you know what a globe is.
Well, yeah. I mean, if that's even an actual representation of the Earth.
Are you one of those believers that the Earth is flat and then you fall over at a certain section?
Well, no, I'm kidding. But, so I said on the show yesterday, I thought it was Dan Coates because,
I don't.
Lawrence O'Donnell, I played the audio of Lawrence O'Donnell. It's like 10 minutes long, but he very methodically and systematically goes through a process of elimination and arrives at the conclusion that it's national security, not national security advisor. What's his the senior intelligence something? I get mixed up about his title for some reason. I have a mental block with it.
What's his name?
Dan Coates.
No, it's not. It's not Dan Coates.
Now, well, he's still my top pick. However,
he's not my pick.
However,
it's out of the question.
During a conversation with Dr. Kevin, you know Dr.
Yes,
Kevin.
I know Dr. Kevin very well.
Last evening, I began to think that my number 2 pick at this point, not the same Kelly you were talking about, not General John Kelly, but Kellyanne Conway.
That could be possible, and I will go even one step further.
Oh my goodness!
Remember, the 25th Amendment exists, but it's never been used in the entire history of the USA.
Right.
And for that to happen, you have to include the vice president going down. And I just read a story the other day where the vice president was in Michigan saying something, and he said, God is sending me to be the next president of the United States. So he's already... So it wouldn't surprise me if it was him. You know how quiet he's been with Trump? He doesn't argue with him. Either way, he just shuts up.
It could be him.
Could be other people also. There's a lot of people out there.
One of the reasons people have speculated that it's him is that Heidi says honey in your tea. I don't really like tea.
Yeah, honey in your tea is good.
Yeah. Because
put honey in your water.
In the ooh.
I know you like water.
Yeah. Right. Okay. It was the word lodestar was used in the op-ed, and apparently because that's not a word you hear every day or use every day, certainly. And but apparently Mike Pence has an affinity for that word. But
did somebody higher up?
Did someone do that to throw us off?
Could be, but I still maintain it for that room whisperings. They're not whispers. There may be rumors, but they're not whispers. They're not whispering it. If it was being whispered, it wouldn't have even hit the op-ed. You know, it's not a whisper anymore. The Globe knows about it. I still think it's somebody way up there. It's not a low-level staff at the White House.
Well, here's the thing. So Kellyanne Conway,
she's a high-level staff.
but she's been saying that it could be any of thousands of people. It could be someone loosely connected to the White House, this and that. But here's the thing.
Kelly's too close to the president.
The New York Times.
I don't think it's her.
The New York Times said it's a senior official at the White House. Now, to me, senior official means a cabinet level.
Yes.
Someone.
That's what I'm trying to get at.
But why is she?
Or the vice president. Someone really up there. You're correct.
But why is she? Why is Kellyanne Conway doing this weird sort of misdirection where she's trying to say, oh, it could be, it might not even be somebody that actually works for the White House.
But if you know, is it Miss?
And she's the only one who's doing that.
Is it Miss or Mrs. Conway?
Well, Mrs.
I'm not sure.
Because she's married to George Conway.
Oh,
and here's another
married.
clue.
Okay. So Mrs. Conway is just doing her job and trying to level down the frightening.
But here's another
the fear contact.
Here's another clue, though, Glenn. See, I'm glad you brought it up. Is it Miss or Mrs.? So she's married to George Conway, an attorney who I think he used to be an attorney for the Justice Department. Now he's up with a private law firm in D.C.
And does he work for Trump?
No, George Conway, quite the opposite. He, on a regular basis, goes on Twitter and trashes Trump. and has been very critical of him. And I've always been fascinated. I sound like
Can
Kirk
you imagine
Cameron. I sound like I'm going through
Can
puberty.
you imagine in their household when they're together, Mr. and Mrs., what they discuss?
Right. Well, I've always been fascinated by that dynamic. I mean, because he publicly is trashing his wife's boss, the President of the United States. Now, how do they manage to stay married? But then I wonder, does she actually agree with him privately? Won't say it publicly, but does she actually agree with him? And she is.
You got a point. You never know. But do you remember when Bill Clinton was president, his biggest supporter was a senator it was a Democratic strategist from Louisiana, and his wife was Republican.
Of course.
I'm trying to think who it is.
You're talking about James Carville and Mary Matlin.
And they were in the same household as well.
Oh, yeah.
So they too must have had some very good conversations at nighttime as well as on their table.
But they actually they capitalized on that on that relationship and on that difference, and really kind of parlayed that into I mean they've made a lot of
wouldn't be I understand,
cable news appearances
but it wouldn't
together
be
over the
wise
years.
for a staff member like Kelly, she sees him every day. She's right next to his office. That to do the same thing. He probably fire her. He fires everybody who doesn't.
But
can't control.
She's cunning enough, Glenn.
Well, she is that.
She's cunning enough to
She's smart enough too
to have a to have a secret relationship with someone at the New York Times where she was able to get to them this op-ed.
She hates the press too much for that. It's not her. I'm telling you, it's not her. It's more like a Mike Pence or General Kelly.
I'll tell you why I don't think it's Mike Pence.
Couldn't even Jared.
Jared Kushner?
You know when they said,
Kush?
you know when he said on TV that it's come to the point that I can only trust my own family, and a lot of people said, and can you really trust your own members,
right?
Siblings, you know?
Yes. Well, okay, so here's why I don't think it's Pence, because Pence is one of the people. I talked about this yesterday on the show. You've got two types of denials going on.
Yes.
You've got the denials where they just simply say, no, it wasn't me. I wouldn't do that. That's false, whatever. And then you've got these denials where they go a step further and trash whoever did it. Call whoever did it a traitor or really kind of cast them as a villain, etc. Mike Pence has done that second type of denial. So I don't think the individual who did this would be trashing themselves like that.
Well, Mike Pence didn't trash the president,
though. No.
Not in public.
No, but I mean, I don't think he would be saying, if it were him, if he had anything to do with it, I don't think he would be saying, the person who did this is gutless or a traitor, etc.
Oh, no.
If it was him.
When you stab someone, if you're a good stabber in the back, you go all the way. These people can be cunning. And I'm not mentioning anybody in particular, but when someone is a stabber and they want something, they go all the way.
Right.
So, no, I disagree with you there. He could be the stabber and you don't know.
But why would he cast himself as, because whoever did this
because it's a sneaky way of saying I'm the innocent person here.
Well, no, I get that, but he also has to protect his political future.
Yeah, but down the road he can say I did it to protect the country.
Right.
Isn't that why this op-ed came out to begin with?
Right. Exactly. But whoever did it needs to they need to protect their own long-term image, so they're not going to... In other words, I think whoever did it is one of the people who's denying it, but stopping short of insulting whoever did.
Just think of the Watergate. It's not much different. A lot of it is so related. I mean, the way that they treated the Watergate and the way that they're treating the Russian thing, and what's even worse is that it's not the press or Miller. It's actually the president that's getting himself. His own tweets get him in trouble.
Of course.
He creates so much of his own mess.
Yes.
So when you're paranoid like that, it doesn't always work to your favor. And in his case, it's not working. He's back down to 36%. He started off at 36%. He went up all the way up to 50%. He's back down to 36%.
Right.
So he creates his own worst enemy. He is his own worst enemy.
Of course he is, yeah. Absolutely. So I think it's either Dan Coates or Kellyanne Conway.
I don't think it's neither of them.
Now, why are you so... you seem so sure, though, that it's not Dan Coates. Why don't you think it's Dan Coates?
Knowing politics the way it is in today's world. especially in this country. And worse off, we're talking about Republicans turning on Republicans here. This wasn't done by a Democrat. There's no Democrats high up in the White House right now. They're all Republicans appointed, hired by the president.
Steve Mnuchin might be a Democrat. I'm not sure.
But one of the last ones left. And what does he do for a job?
Gary Cohn was a Democrat, but he's gone.
What does Mnuchin...
Treasury Secretary.
Oh, he loves Trump too much for that. He doesn't want to lose his job.
Yeah, I mean...
But he could be a player. Cannot rule him out. But I still think that it's...
I just don't get why you're so sure it's not Dan Coates.
It's someone closer to the White House than that. It's not... I don't think it's a department head. I really think that it's someone within the Oval Office area, in the White House. Remember, these department heads are not all in the White House.
But remember, the New York Times said a senior White House official.
Well, look, you don't think General Kelly would be a senior?
Well, of course.
Or the Vice President would be a senior?
No,
you know?
I think General Kelly's a good guess. I don't think it's Pence, because I don't think Pence would say those super critical things.
You don't really know Pence. Have you followed his history in politics?
Yeah, I just don't think he would say that about himself.
It's a cover-up. It's a cover-up.
Unless he does operating under the assumption, and I hope this doesn't turn out to be the case.
Well, he will be the next president if something happens to Trump before the election is over.
No, of course, but unless, though, he's operating under the assumption that we'll never know, because
that too.
If you look at Deep Throat, it was decades before we finally found out. And I didn't know if we'd ever find out in my lifetime, ever. We finally found out that it was Mark Felt, but so Pence might be banking on that.
Were you surprised that it was Mark Felt?
No, I wasn't surprised or unsurprised. I was just more like, oh, okay, we finally know.
You should put honey in that water.
We're only allowed to have water, and yeah, you can't drink that in here, Glenn. We're only allowed to have water now.
This is iced tea. It doesn't ruin the rugs.
Okay. Well, if someone comes...
And my cap is on. I was accused today that I spilled the fruit punch on the rug by the couch. And guess what? I can't stand fruit punch. I don't drink stuff like that.
How do you know it's fruit punch?
Because they said it. But the one who made the accusation said, we got you on camera drinking the fruit punch and dropping it. It couldn't have been me because I don't drink fruit punch. I'm a tea drinker.
So you're suggesting then that it was John Hopwood?
I didn't say that. Does he drink fruit punch?
I don't know. Does he? I
have no idea.
I feel like that's the. I feel like
I don't know why you're saying that.
I feel like you are accusing John Hopwood, and I cannot believe you would say something so scurrilous.
So what's he talking about?
I'm here to make a citizen's arrest.
Oh my goodness!
I've never mentioned his name, so how does he even know that I'm?
I got the word from control. I was downtown that Glenn's been saying irresponsible things.
I don't think so.
About some police shooting somebody at Central High and
oh my goodness,
disappearing a school principal.
Oh, I don't. I think there's another fake story.
They said if there's going to be an irresponsible chatterbox on the Matt Connarton show, why not go with the best?
I think.
Thank you for creating that fake story. I really enjoy your. I really enjoy your humor. Oh, they sold it.
Sold it for what?
Well, we need money to run this place.
That's right. That's right.
City's keeping it all.
Oh.
You can't percolate nothing right now. I don't know what happened to it, really.
Well, I am.
Was there a tragedy?
Oh, I know why. You can't drink stuff in here anymore. Isn't that why?
That's right.
Coffee
only water.
Coffee does stain.
I'll sit on Glenn's lap.
No, I don't think so.
Oh my goodness! Wow.
Do you want me to go there instead? I'll be politely to do that.
Be a sexy show on a Saturday.
I think I'm more senior than you, but that's okay. I'm senior.
I don't know about
senior,
that.
I said.
Well, I am
but
curious.
I'm much more polite than that, so I will give you your seat.
I am curious to know John's theory.
You could be the mayor of Africa, as far as I'm concerned.
Oh my goodness, John Hopwood running for mayor of Africa. This is so you guys are going to fight it out for that prestigious office.
Because it doesn't exist.
Fantastic.
You guys make things that doesn't even happen.
All right,
what happened to your throat? Are you gargling with razor blades again?
Yes, I'm trying to make my voice deeper. Hello to Ricky. Okay, I'm gonna give it a try. Litwinkovich. Not Vitch. Which Litwinkowicz. I think
which
in the Facebook live chat. All right, you used to be in intelligence. Who did it?
Who did what?
The op-ed in the New York Times.
What? Yeah. What's your idea? Who do you think did it?
I think it was either Dan Coates. Dan Coates is my number
No, it's
one.
not him at all.
Isn't Dan Coates from New Hampshire?
No.
No, I don't think so.
Wasn't he in the baseball commissioner's office?
Ooh, I got it. I got his name right. I don't know.
Everything's interrelated.
Maybe.
I don't know, so I can't say.
We have a
but
call.
I don't think he's from New Hampshire.
This could be the guilty party calling. Hi. Welcome to Matt Connarton Unleashed in the Afternoon. Who's this? Hello? Anyone there?
Oh, hi, hello, guys.
Oh, my God, he's back.
Oh,
Welcome.
it's Eric.
It's Eric, I know.
Beacon of sanity in the Queen
I got a
City.
quick question for you guys. And the more pressing question is, I haven't seen him on the air, or I haven't seen him in town anywhere. Where the heck is Jim O'Connell?
Are you suggesting?
I saw him on his TV show just on Wednesday.
Are you suggesting?
Or is it Tuesday?
Are you
That
suggesting
he's behind the shooting?
I think,
or the disappearance
no.
of the high school principal?
I think what Eric is suggesting is that
it.
Jim O'Connell had something to do with that op-ed. Is that what you're saying, Eric?
No, I don't think so. I haven't heard him on. He used to come on your show all the time.
Wow.
And I had quite the discussion with him over the last year or so.
We don't really discuss local
station
issues anymore.
for a long time.
We don't discuss local issues anymore. That's what it is.
Yeah, we don't do local stuff on
We're
the show,
national
on the show
now,
anymore.
international.
Eric, what did you do with the coffee maker?
Is that what it is? That's what it is.
Eric, did you take the coffee maker here in the studio?
Are you ready for your dramatic reading?
A dramatic reading? I'd love to do a dramatic
All
reading.
right.
By the way,
Well, hopefully, if he's listening, come on the air and share your wisdom, Jim.
Oh,
great show.
All right.
So,
Thank you, Eric.
You should. Oh, okay.
You don't have to read the address, and you can wait to do that.
Well, wait. He's back. Did you have a question for Eric?
Yeah, I was going to ask him. Does he know who wrote the op-ed?
All right. Go ahead, Eric.
Hello, guys.
Oh, I guess
Hello
he doesn't
there.
know. Kevin Buckley in the Facebook live chat says, some of your best shows the last 3 days. This is why I started listening. Well, thank you, Kevin Buckley. Which makes me curious.
Oh, I know who Kevin Buckley is.
I wonder if
Welcome.
I wonder if Kevin Buckley has
Ray
a
Buckley's Amanuensis.
Amanuensis. I wonder if
John, you said that, not me.
Control's calling.
I wonder if Kevin
What's up?
has a
We're on air now. We're on air.
I thought I'm the only one that did that.
Kevin, do you have a theory? I just I muted his mic.
I get criticized for doing that, and then you let him do it?
Well, the thing is, when you do it, I don't know, for some reason it's funny when you do it. But I'm curious if Kevin has a theory about the who wrote the op-ed. So I've been handed this, and it's I'm going to be doing a dramatic reading when John's off the phone, so he can fully enjoy it, because he is. I think he's getting the scoop about the New York Times op-ed.
No, he's getting the scoop of what happened in Hanover Street.
Oh my goodness! I don't know what that is. Is that something you're going to be? What was that? You're not having a stroke, are you?
No, long way from being having a stroke.
I thought
it's my way to answer in Pig Latin what I thought about what you just said.
Okay.
It's nice to speak several languages.
Pig Latin. So Pig Latin's actually a real thing?
Well, you learn that in school. You learn Latin and you learn Pig Latin.
I didn't think Pig Latin was even real.
Oh, yeah, it's real.
Oh, how real is it?
For some people.
How many words?
It's not a language that the average person will learn, but amongst friends, if you have really good friends, and that's the way to get around.
Does your use of it put us in any jeopardy with the FCC?
Oh, of course not.
Well, good.
Me cuss? Are you crazy? When was the last time you heard me cuss? Very rare.
It is very rare.
Extremely rare.
Now, never on the air, obviously.
No,
but
never.
I remember once hearing.
Well, I am human.
I have heard some salty language come from you, Glenn R.J. Ouellette, and I remember finding it quite jarring. And shocking. And
was it the pronunciations? Is that what it was? Was it French?
No, it's just your I think the one time I actually heard you use the F word, I was like, oh my goodness, Glenn used the F word.
Yeah, I must have been really angry that day.
And I said it exactly like that too. I was like, oh my goodness, without my
Here
voice
comes
even.
the FBI.
All right, well, I always
You got a warrant for my arrest?
I always knew this moment would come.
I have to read you. You're right.
Oh. Here it is.
You can arrest. I don't think the people's mayor constitutionally can be indicted.
Wait a minute. Please visit provider resources. Well, this is the wrong card.
Some detective you are.
So another,
I love it. This is fun.
So another listener has weighed in. Kevin Buckley says, "I think the VP wrote the op-ed."
I think it was Milan.
You got a phone call. Thank you, Kevin. It's possible. It's very possible. It's someone up senior, and he is definitely the most up senior there.
Hi, welcome to Matt
Melania?
Connarton Unleashed in the afternoon. Who's
Vice
this?
President Pence. Go ahead.
Hello.
Hello.
Good afternoon, my friends.
Oh, who's this?
It sounds like
It's a familiar voice.
Even you, even John Hopwood.
Is this Bill Barry?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, it's Bill Barry.
Alderman Bill Barry.
Hi, Bill. You've been on the news a lot lately.
Yes.
Yeah, I was actually on the morning show this morning.
I heard you.
After
Yes.
I went to
I
the
heard
hold signs for our good friend Chris Pappas and Heidi Heyman and
Oh.
Connie Van Houten and Patty Cornell and Willis Griffith, who I just had the pleasure of meeting. Very nice gentleman.
Willis is
from
a very nice
11.
gentleman. I've met him out.
He's
yes.
he's related to. It's fitting that you, the sheriff of Amoskeag, would call in about Willis Griffith, since he is related to the beloved, Andy Griffith of Mayberry.
You're so
fame.
funny.
Sheriff.
What a great name, Willis Griffith.
What was his name? Andy Taylor.
It does-
Sheriff
Taylor.
Taylor.
It does sound like it sounds like a name from a novel. Well, let's get
Bad novel.
let's get right to it. Let's get to the real issue of the day, Alderman. Who do you think wrote the op-ed?
So I think, well,
Which Manchester
MSNBC
Inkling?
had I was watching the other night, Lawrence O'Donnell, and he actually cut it down to who he thought it probably was, and he mentioned Dan Coates.
Yes.
I don't think it's him, though.
Absolutely could be Dan Coates. Dan Coates,
It's possible.
when he was being interviewed a few months ago, and he was surprised that the Trump administration invited Putin to
Yes,
the White House.
the White House.
Yes.
It was news to him.
But that was
So
normal, Bill,
I'm
because
sure he feels slighted and not being involved with these people.
Yes.
yeah, that's true. But you have to realize that the reason why he made that statement is because Trump did not notify him of any of that. He didn't notify anybody. He just made a statement.
Right.
Right.
That's exactly what I just mentioned. That's
Yeah.
so
Yeah,
he
sure.
feels slighted that he's not that they don't involve him.
And Dan Coates has nothing to lose. He's 75 years old. This is his last job in government.
Absolutely.
And neither does
Yeah.
Vice President Pence. Nothing to lose. He'll be the next president if Trump leaves before
Well,
time.
but Pence has a lot to lose for that reason.
Do you think so? I don't think so.
And Dan Coates was close with John McCain. So
He was.
and this all happened within
Right,
days.
and he mentioned that. I didn't. It's funny. I didn't even read the actual op-ed, but
I
saw
did.
bits and pieces of it and heard about it. And that's one thing that obviously stood out was the praise of John McCain
Yes.
in the article.
Are you
So,
sure John didn't write it
that
and
itself could
mailed
be-
it late?
And one thing that you got to understand, sometimes when people write things, they're pretty intelligent about
Hey,
words that
I
they
just heard
put
that.
in that will make people think it may be someone else. So we've got to keep that
it's
in mind,
Melania
too.
Trump. You've done domestic
Do
stuff,
you know it
Bill.
could, it
it's
could be her.
Melania.
It could
Come
be
on.
her. She
We ought to
is-
get her to call in.
It
She's
could be her.
denouncing the writer of it. I'm sure that's her subterfuge. Actually, she's from Lower Slobovia. Oh, they're very cunning.
And she can never
You're bad.
she can never run for president herself because she's not.
Oh yeah,
She
can't.
wasn't born in the United
She's not
States.
like Hillary can take over.
No, but she
Right.
wasn't born in the USA. She can't run.
That's
She's born in
right.
Upper Slobovia. What if we
Wouldn't it?
What if we take it over?
Wouldn't it be something if it was someone that was very, very close, someone like John
Ivanka?
Kelly or
Ivanka?
Or the vice president.
even Melania
Or
Ivanka?
Jared.
or Pence
Or
someone
Jared.
that even
Yeah.
Sarah Sanders.
Sarah
Sarah
Sanders.
Sanders.
Sanders. Someone like that he really, really thinks he's close to, when in fact they've actually turned their
Jeez,
back on him.
You know-
He's
Getting
just,
an
he's
obscene
just
side.
such a loose cannon, and it is. I
Yeah.
said this quite a while ago that he's a danger to our country, and you just hope that something bad doesn't happen because of his
Yes,
foolishness.
I
Well,
agree.
do you have a number? Do you have a number 2 pick, Bill? Because my number 2 is Kellyanne Conway.
I don't think so.
How about her husband?
That would I would include her too. She's that would be something. You got to keep in mind we don't know what goes on.
Well,
And
that's
I've
true.
always said this, even when people get divorced and people are stunned that, oh my God, I can't believe they got divorced. They seem so happy. You never know what goes on behind closed doors that irritates people, and
Right.
That's true,
that
Bill.
would be something. She'd be on the list of that would be something if it was her, you know.
She's cunning enough to pull it off, and
Melania?
Kellyanne.
Kellyanne.
And her husband consistently trashes Trump on Twitter, and
so we've narrowed it down to a married woman.
You know what, Matt? That actually makes a lot of sense.
Melania?
Because he could be trashing Trump.
It's been a long
through
time
her.
since
Yes,
Or
you've
she
had to
could be
deal with that.
trashing
He could be.
Trump through him. That's what I meant.
You are right on that.
right, yeah. I think that's a very good possibility.
So, Bill, not wanting to change the subject, but since you
You're
are an
changing the
alderman, can you tell us
No, we can't.
the update of what happened on Hanover Street? Do you know anything that
Well,
you can tell?
I can tell you what I've seen and what I know, and it's actually become public, so I can tell it.
Okay.
Is number one, we all know there was a shooting right in the vicinity of Hanover and Lincoln Street.
Oh,
and
wow.
that
Peter
person has
White's
died. And that was around 11 o'clock this morning. And then within the same time period, the SWAT team is in the vicinity of Hanover and Maple Street, looking at an apartment there that the suspect may be in. One thing that we always have to keep in mind is, first of all, I hope all the officers are safe.
Yes.
Secondly, is that the possibility that the guy may not even be in there. Just because they surround the house doesn't mean that the suspect is still in that house or even around. He could have ducked in there. Someone saw him go in, but he went out a back door. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
But they've got it surrounded, so maybe they could be in contact with the person. Who knows? Let's put it this way: the longer they stay there, the better indication is that that he's probably
They're on the right track.
Mm.
Yeah.
So, Bill,
it's sad that
it is.
11 o'clock in the morning.
It is.
For whatever the reason was that he shot this guy, putting other people's lives in jeopardy. It's the same thing with the opiate crisis. If someone is going to shoot up, which we hope that they don't, because we know how terrible it is. But if they're going to do that, they're playing Russian roulette with their own lives. But don't put other lives in jeopardy because of your stupidity.
I agree. So, Bill, do you know if they've released the kids, the young adults at Central High School yet?
Pardon me?
They had postponed releasing the.
They released them.
Thank you.
Yeah, they released them, which is good. They're real. You have to be. You have to be very,
Of
very
course, you
cautious.
have to be very careful.
Exactly what I said. You assume that because the SWAT team is watching a house doesn't mean
They're
that
not there.
the person is still inside.
That's correct.
So you've got to take every precaution necessary. So when they release them, that could be a good indication that they pretty much know where the bad guy is.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Bill, do you've run for office? Do you have any advice? And I know you were. I think you were close to Joyce Craig when she was running, and she was a success. Do you have any advice for Glenn for when his campaign to become mayor of Africa?
I'm not running for anything.
Defense and security is a big issue.
No, I'm not. They're making it up.
Making it up.
Listen, Bill. Africa.
Here we go, Glenn. Fake news, right?
Yes, Africa is a continent. Continents do not have presidents or mayors. So you know that it's fake
Australia
news.
was a prime minister.
There you go.
But Australia is also the only country
Are
in that.
you saying that you're running for the mayor of Australia?
I'm not running for anything.
We got him now.
I just told you I am not running for anything.
His guard's down.
He's being very coy. Very coy.
He's a real
Glenn,
tease.
Keep in mind, if I go home right now and I put on CNN, I know what I'm going to see. Breaking news: Glenn R.J. Ouellette running for mayor.
Yeah, I don't
mayor
think
of
so.
Australia.
Because we don't know where.
I really don't think so, Bill.
He's going to run for Oz. That's he's got a thing for Munchkins.
I think Glenn
Or
is
is it the
Listen, guys,
Winkies?
I've got to get off the phone because I'm going to hold signs for my dear friend Heidi Hamer. And I see Senator Lou D'Alessandro's down there and a few others.
Have a good
so
weekend.
We're going to head down there and hold signs for them. And remember, vote on Tuesday, September 11, 2018.
Absolutely.
Especially for Chris Pappas. He's a guy that is not, in my opinion, is not a politician. He's one of the nicest persons in our city. And he's a gentleman, and he deserves his voice in Congress, because he would do a great job not only for our city but the state of New Hampshire.
Now, Bill, watch out that Heidi doesn't goose you while you're holding one of those totems.
Oh my!
I'll see you guys.
Have a
Always
good
a
weekend.
pleasure, Glenn. Keep it going, buddy.
I'm not going to stop. You know that.
I know that. That's why,
Especially when I know I'm right.
Until he's ruling the
Especially when you
antipodean
know I'm
world.
right. It's not about
I'll
power.
see ya.
All right.
Bye-bye.
If you want to be
Thanks,
the,
Bill.
No, I do not.
when you want to be the mayor of an entire continent, I think that's about power.
Well, see,
The Winkies are going to bring you.
this is what's wrong with fake news today. I mean, you make things
fake
up that are
news.
so ridiculous.
They're so ridiculous, they're irridiculous.
You should have heard the things Eric Agnon was making up earlier when he called.
Only idiots can think of such things, right, Matt?
What, of running for mayor of Africa?
Of Africa, really, a position that doesn't even exist.
I think you could create it.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I think, you know what? I'm going to go on...
I don't have that power.
I'm going to go on whitehouse.org and start a petition. But see, Trump won't like it, though, because he says those are S-hole countries.
Yeah.
See, so that's why you need to be mayor of Africa.
But you don't think that he has one of
Yes.
those, too? I think he does.
Oh, my.
I mean, if he's a human, he must have one, right?
John Hopwood's getting another call.
Yes, he's so important.
We're getting another...
This is
working for the
interesting
CIA.
because, hush up, they call, triangulation and stuff. Now, is this a bill collector or is it somebody from around where I'm...
Answer it and find out. I wouldn't answer it.
Yes.
Aye.
Well, I should, so you want me to read this?
I didn't say anything. I just walked in and,
Well, you handed
you
me
were
something,
itching.
and you suggested a dramatic reading, which will be interesting with my Kirk Cameron-like voice.
Brand new voice.
Yes.
There you go.
All right. So
you don't have to read my address out loud.
I won't read your address. All right. So here
this
it is.
Is a letter to the editor.
It's anonymous.
Of the union leader.
Oh, by the way, hello to Christian Connarton, who joins us in the Facebook live chat.
Do we need some background? A Maura Sullivan supporter wrote a letter in attacking the union leader for attacking Maura Sullivan for being part of the problem at the VA. Now, Maura Sullivan was in public relations, and the woman that wrote in was pretty vicious about both the Manchester Veterans Administration Medical Center and the Veterans Health Administration.
Oh, my.
Which runs our veterans hospitals.
Well, we have a call. Hi, welcome to Matt Connarton Unleashed. Who's this?
This is Bill Berrigan. Hey, I apologize, but I just got
Ghost.
I got conflicting messages about the Central High School, and it's my understanding. Actually, it's firsthand knowledge. I know for sure that they are still in lockdown, and they've got the buses staged, waiting for them to be cleared. They want to make sure that obviously kids are not involved because one thing that these kids are going to be walking from Central.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's one thing that everyone's got to keep in mind. They're not all getting picked up by buses or their parents. So a lot
Bill,
of the kids that go to Central will walk pretty close to the area where the situation is taking place. So Manchester PD is using every precaution necessary to make sure that they stay safe.
So, Bill, it's fair to say that people should stay away from that area.
Absolutely, because you
Glenn.
never know what the intention of this person is.
I agree.
If
I'm
they
heading
ever
out
get
right
involved
now.
With,
Well, Eric wanted
especially
to
a
walk
shootout,
down.
God forbid, the crossfire that's involved and so on. So,
Yes.
Manchester PD, they're doing a fabulous job, and let's just hope and pray that everyone stays safe.
Thank you.
And Bill, you're doing a fabulous job as the sheriff of Amoskeag. Or is it Amoskeag?
All right, thank you guys.
All
I
this
gotta go.
fake news.
All right.
Have fun.
Thank you, Alderman.
You notice when somebody gets caught with their trousers down, it's always fake news.
Says who?
Says
I heard you say that before, too, so what's the difference?
about what?
Do you ever get your trousers down?
Never. I'm never in public, Glenn.
Says who?
Oh, that's terribly embarrassing.
Read the...
Maybe if I did, I'd be the county treasurer.
Oh, well.
I'd show off my assets.
All right.
All right.
That was well said.
So I will perform one of my dramatic readings of this letter.
Do we need to do the background again?
No, I don't think so.
All right.
But now this is how, I don't know if you know this, Glenn, though, this bit of background. This is how John and I became friends. I did a dramatic reading of something that he wrote about
While I was drunk.
while he was drunk.
Oh, I thought you were a hypnosis, not a dramatic reader.
On miscellanyblue.com about the Honorable Gary S. Hopper and I.
You can tell he's a real fan, huh?
Yeah, I know, right?
And what is what
I guess
does
I'm
Norm
outnumbered.
do on his show?
Yeah.
Plays cards and Talks about the lottery.
Right, yes. Have you seen Norm's? Never mind. No, you've obviously been on Norm's show.
And so have you.
Yes. We're just
more often than I have.
Yes, that is true.
Norm's invited me to come on the show.
I was Norm's co-host for 7 years. So you and Norm have buried the hatchet.
Yes, we have.
Good. As did you and Peter White, which I think is wonderful.
Yes.
All right, so with my broken voice, I'm going to attempt a dramatic reading.
A dramatic reading.
A dramatic reading.
Of a letter to the editor of the Union Leader.
Yes, here we go. Should I read this part at the end, too, where it says 247 words?
Well, it's got to be 250, and that's, when you're a writer,
Oh, right. Okay.
No, you don't have to.
Okay. I would have included it, but...
and no, not my address, either.
And not your address. No, that would be... No. Okay. As a disabled veteran and Manchester Veterans Administration Medical Center user who has fought to defend and protect this VAMC, I object to Vera Bull's letter about Morris Sullivan. This letter, seething with disrespect for the Manchester VAMC and the Veterans Healthcare Administration that runs Veterans Healthcare facilities, illuminates my problem with Sullivan's candidacy. Where was Sullivan during the combat over the past generation to defend the Manchester VAMC? As her qualifications for representing NHCD1, Sullivan mentions knocking on doors in 2006 for Carol Shea Porter. Where was Sullivan in 2014 when Shea Porter narrowly lost her seat?
It's better than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, right? Your voice there.
The cracking voice gets my, as Glenn would say, soprano perfectly.
I think it gives it some additional gravitas.
Probably does.
Carol Shea Porter was a stalwart defender of the Manchester VAMC. Her concern for veterans was genuine and unflagging. In 2016, I was putting signs out for her, hobbling around on a cane with a bad back, a legacy of my military service. I was out at St. A's, engaged in verbal combat with two opposing armies, marshaled by other candidates. Sullivan says she worked for Maggie Hassan's Senate campaign that year. My father was a disabled World War II veteran. The 1945 West High School yearbook has a picture of my father in his Navy uniform as he was off serving his country with his personal statement, "Actions speak louder than words." Instead of complaining, Bulls should be working to improve the Manchester VAMC. Morris Sullivan worked in public relations at the VA. Words, not action. In the combat over the fate of the Manchester VAMC, Sullivan wasn't AWOL. She was missing in action.
Oh, I think that deserves a round of applause. Do you have a sound effect?
247 words. Oh, I forgot you said not to read that. Thank you.
And it's absolutely true.
Glenn didn't applaud.
Well,
he's not a veteran.
Oh,
he is
you have to
one
be a
of
veteran
those,
to applaud.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me.
He's one of those vets.
Let me tell you that I applied for all four branches. If it wouldn't have been my medical condition, I would have been in the military.
What was the fourth branch?
The Coast Guard.
The Coast Guard wasn't a branch of the military. It was in the Department of Transportation.
Did you apply for the...
It isn't anymore.
Did you apply for the Space Force?
Did you just recently apply for it?
No,
since 2001?
You got to come up with the times. Anyway,
so you applied for the Coast Guard, wasn't it?
I have many brothers who served in the military.
Oh.
In the Canadian military?
No, in the American military. My brother was in Vietnam from America, not from Canada.
Canada wasn't in Vietnam.
There you go. I proved my point.
I don't think you are proving any point since you say that your relatives are all Canadian.
How could he have been in the Canadian military if they were never in Vietnam?
Wait, are you suggesting Glenn run for mayor of Vietnam?
No.
No, of Canada.
Stop it.
Oh.
Where is it going to be? When is it going to be 5 o'clock?
Canada. Glenn, you say that you were the only one of your family, that's an American because you were born on the International Bridge, something we've yet to
Well, wait a minute.
out.
I never said that. I never said that my brothers and sisters were all Canadians. I'm sorry. I don't know where you got that from, but you're making that one up.
Not making it up. I mean, this is things you've said on your show.
No, not that they're all Canadians. I'm sorry.
How many of your relatives are Canucks?
Well, there are a lot of French Americans here.
French Canadians?
Yes,
or Franco-Americans?
That are American citizens, and they have a lot of people living in Canada that are still related.
Canucks.
So
they're all Canucks? You're saying that if
and what
you're
are you
from dog on either side of the border. You're still a Canuck.
Are you a wood chopper?
Oh,
If you're gonna go that way,
A wood chopper?
well, you got to be a wood chopper.
I'm a chop wood.
He's chopping the language like it doesn't exist.
Oh.
I
Fake
just want
news.
I just
Did
want
Trump-
Mr. International
Did Donald
himself,
Trump
you know?
teach you?
Oh, I'm one of the
Did Donald Trump teach
Boy,
you how
talk
to
about
tweet?
straddling a fence.
Did Donald Trump teach you?
Why
how-
didn't you join the Canadian
how to-
military?
The fake news.
Oh, you
You
could
could've-
be a Mountie.
The Queen is like your sovereign, isn't she? You're dual citizenship.
I have lived more years in the U.S. than anywhere else.
So he admits he's lived in Canada.
Right.
Isn't that enough?
I can picture him in a
Isn't that
Mountie
enough?
I
costume.
am an
It's
American
evidence.
citizen. If I wouldn't be, I would not be able to be on the ballot.
Jesus, Trump should be putting him on the Supreme Court.
Oh my
You
God!
know what the word oleaginous means, you know?
I
Because I
actually
can't remember the word.
I would
that
have-
means like oily. 'Cause
I
I
would-
can't remember the word for
Oh.
eel.
I would have to
Oh.
deny if Trump made the nomination.
Why?
You would not accept a nomination to the Supreme Court?
It's your
No.
favorite president.
Again, fake news, people.
You see how what he's doing? He doesn't bear allegiance to the president of the United States.
Wow.
I
He is
respect-
Canadian.
I
Yes.
respect the office.
You have a British passport?
No, do
Why-
you?
I can't tell you that.
Ah.
It's classified.
You know, Ted,
Classified.
Is
Ted
Republic
Cruz,
of Ireland
Ted Cruz is Canadian, and I'm pretty sure he would accept an appointment to the Supreme
He
Court.
did not.
I'm
Nobody
sure.
renounced
Listen,
his Canuck.
Ted Cruz-
So he claims.
Canuckistan.
Trump
Yes.
accused Ted Cruz in 2016
Of being
that
what?
his father was involved in shooting the president.
Well, clearly, didn't you
And
see
where
the
were
picture?
you on
And
November
now-
22nd,
And now
1963,
they're,
Glenn?
are
I was on the
embracing,
international
they're,
bridge.
they're embracing in arms, and they're going to campaign
Well, I don't think they embraced. They're
together. Well,
Republicans.
it's going to get pretty
Do you
close.
know that James Earl Ray was in Canada?
Was he now?
Oh, yeah.
Do you know that I know that for a fact that John Hopper has already visited Canada?
Have you ever been to Memphis?
Tennessee, no.
You've never been walking in Memphis?
I've never been to Tennessee.
You're not into
Oklahoma, but not
Delta
Tennessee.
music, stuff like that.
It's not that I don't like the music. I've never been there. I'm answering the question honestly.
So
Why do you have?
You've never been south of the
Why-
Mason-Dixon line.
That's not true. I've been to Oklahoma. Why do you? And I
How
think
did you get to Oklahoma without crossing the Mason-Dixon line?
There are other
That's
ways-
an interesting.
there are other ways to
he,
go around it.
he went through Canada.
Oh.
No, I did not go.
Dropped on.
No, I did not. Go to Canada though.
Mhm.
Did they let you through Ontario with your bogus passport?
My God.
You've been a lot of places, Glenn.
If anybody's got a bogus passport, it's probably John Hopwood.
Yeah, that's a
Oh,
scurrilous
where were you in
accusation.
October 1970?
Yeah, where were you?
Were you in Quebec?
I was still too young to travel by myself. Still just a teenager.
Just a teenager can't travel?
Or so he would have us believe.
I'm living under my parents' roofs. You know, I wasn't
In
abiding.
Canada?
No, in Van Buren, Maine.
Which is kind of like little
well, excuse
Canada.
me. Last
Le
I knew,
Petit Canada.
Maine was an American state. So
Sis-
how
Oh,
far
Glenn,
can you go
how
with state
naive,
news?
How naive do you think we are? Next thing you'll be telling us that New Brunswick is Canada.
It is.
In what map, Glenn?
Wow. So are you saying that New Brunswick is an American state? What are you saying?
Oh, it's all America, Glenn. Here's a guy. See how cunning he is? You try to cross the Canadian border and say, I'm an American. Oh, boy, they're going to strip search you.
He's-
and I tell you.
Yes.
And maybe that's what he wants. Because
Oh,
I'm
my
telling
God.
you.
Enough of this.
I'm telling you.
Oh.
When you're standing there
What
in
did
the
you say?
line.
Sorry.
Stripped as naked is one of Trump's badly told lines.
Oh, my God.
my
Doodads
goodness.
hanging in the breeze.
Well,
It's a humbling experience.
it
Isn't
sounds
it,
it.
Glenn?
Have you ever been to Moscow?
Moscow-
haven't, but have
Moscow?
you?
Moscow?
Moscow.
Mos-
Russia.
Moscow.
Ever been to Russia? Can't say it's
Yeah.
What are you?
security.
What are you, Robert Mueller? All of a sudden, ever been to
Is
Russia?
it Robert Mueller or Robert Mueller?
Well, no.
Mueller
How do
in
you
the
pronounce
events.
it, Glenn? This
Mulled
will
wine.
this will tell us all we need to know. How,
No,
do,
you-
how do you pronounce it, Glenn?
I say it either Miller or Muller. Both.
Now,
Oh.
when did you have that business selling mulled wine to the priests?
I don't know. I never sold one in my life.
How does it become sacramental wine, Glenn?
Yes.
We're
How
going to
does
follow
it, Glenn?
that lead.
I'm so sorry, but you know what? You cannot hurt me by deframing my religion. I'm sorry. It doesn't
What
work
does
that
that
way.
have to do with anything?
It doesn't
one's-
work that
No
way.
one's deframing your religion,
He
Glenn.
made it very clear.
Framing what religion? I just think that you might have been bootlegging up in Quebec.
I don't think so. In Quebec, of all places?
Quebec, yeah.
I don't
They
think
don't
so.
bootleg in Quebec.
I didn't say they don't,
They
but
bootleg down in Memphis.
oh, you've been there, haven't you?
I've been to Memphis.
Are you one of those bootleggers?
No. I don't believe in imbibing strong waters.
Is that the same as moonshining?
Yes.
So you know what? He doesn't put honey in his water. That would be moonshine, right?
No.
So you know about moonshining.
Who doesn't?
Monkey Shines is next.
Oh, my
Monkey Shines.
Yeah.
What a terrifying film.
Yes.
I don't even want to think about it.
Really?
Were you part of the Canuck letter in Florida in 1972?
Can we get back to some serious, real news, not this fake stuff?
It's interesting that you're dodging the question.
I'm
You
not
are
dodging-
dodging the question.
I don't even know what he's talking about.
You've never heard of Ed Muskie?
Yes.
Wasn't he from this alleged state, Maine, that you talk about?
Yes.
But you never heard of Ed Muskie?
But Maine is not
Jeez,
Canada.
Al.
You talked about Canada. Maine is not part of Canada. Sorry.
You claim to be from Maine.
Actually,
You've never heard of Ed Muskie?
Maine-
He was the governor. He was a senator.
I didn't say I didn't know him.
He ran for vice president.
I don't know the way he twisted
He's
things.
the author
He
of-
said he was from Canada, and
He's
he's
probably
not.
the
He's
author
from
of
Maine.
that op-ed from
And
Beyond
Maine
the
used to
Grave.
be part of Massachusetts. Did you know that, Mr. Hopwood?
And,
Hopwood?
yes, I do, until 1820. And did you know that we went to war with Britain over Maine?
Yeah?
Yeah.
I'm not surprised.
And who came out of there and eventually became
John Hopwood.
became the general in chief?
Oh.
It must have been John Hopwood.
See, he doesn't know. He doesn't know that.
Right.
Of course I know, but I'm not gonna.
Tell us, Glenn. He became a lieutenant
because
general eventually.
half of your stuff is
He was
true,
the hero.
other half is
He was
fake.
the hero of the War of 1847.
Stop fantasizing on your stories. Tell only the truth.
Oh,
Are you
now we're getting back to.
Are you
Of course,
fantasizing
we know
about
that.
fantasizing about Glenn.
Of course,
Oh, my goodness.
He's one of those believers that truth really isn't truth, right?
Well, that's that.
Are you a friend of Giuliani?
Truth isn't truth.
There you go.
Say that again.
Well, it's not me.
Truth isn't truth.
It's not me saying it.
What is truth? Adjusting Pilot asked, but he didn't stay for the answer.
And what is your answer to that?
I want to know the truth. You seem to not be able to handle it.
Oh, I can handle it very well.
You can't handle the truth.
Oh, I can handle the truth.
Who was,
Hopwood
who
can.
was Winfield Scott?
Was you related to Francis Scott Key?
No, one was a Protestant, one was a Catholic.
Does that really make a difference?
It did back in the 18.
I'm glad that it did for them.
One's from Maryland, and one was up in Maine.
And they have two different last names.
That's
We
for
actually
sure.
lost that war.
That's
What's it called?
Too bad you weren't
Arab-Rustic
involved.
War?
We could have won it, right?
I might have been
There you
involved.
go.
General Hopwood.
You might have been involved. How old are you?
You were probably there in the sidelines, selling wampum.
Oh,
or
I'm not
something.
that old.
I never said you were.
Well, how could I have
in
been
this
there
life.
then?
Well, let's go on
this life.
Let's go on Norm Show, and we'll regress you back to the Aroostook County War of 1832.
I know
do.
that.
I do past life regressions.
You
as,
do?
as a hypnotherapist, yes, I do. I've only done 5 or 6
Have
of
you
them.
tried it on him?
What's the one on him?
You should try it on him.
Really?
He's a good candidate for it.
Well, now, why do you say
I
that?
think you are, and we're going to find out the truth
'Cause
about
he-
your
'cause
many,
he would
many
tell-
lives.
He would tell the truth even though he doesn't think he's telling the truth.
Well, it's not truth serum. It's just hypnosis, Glenn R.J. Ouellette.
And you can't
Glenn,
hypnotize someone
I've
who
held
can't, he doesn't
Her
want it.
Majesty's
That's right.
commission.
Pardon? What did
So
you
that
say?
qualifies me as a gentleman.
Isn't that a
Where is your
James Bond movie, Her Majesty's Permission?
No, it's Her Majesty's Secret Service.
Oh, okay. I'm bad at words. I get them all
So
wrong.
are you British or American?
Oh, he's asking you the tough questions now.
Well, he says he's involved with her security. I don't think so.
He did say
Who's
that or
security?
something like that. No, he's related to
The Queen.
He's related to royalty.
Oh, really?
Well,
Yes.
I'm really, no, well, yeah, I am.
You
through
are.
Diana.
Well, I will not
Spencer's.
kiss your feet.
Well, that would be
I'm a Protestant, Glenn. You don't have to. You just
not-
have to kiss my ass.
Oh, I
not-
don't do that either.
not
Sorry.
that kind of show.
Well, symbolically, or what about
Oh.
when it comes to the exigencies of love?
Oh my God, you are bad.
You should be kissing his ass if you
Yeah.
want a spot in
There
his
he is,
administration.
Glenn, in another life, pot-bellied.
I don't think so.
Oh, wait, here. Let me put the
I'm
camera
not
on
a
you.
priest. Does that look like a priest?
Why do you think you
Yeah.
were a Catholic in another life? Do you think you come back in the same religion?
Oh my God, look at him. Sure you weren't a chimpanzee at one time?
Well,
now he's getting into racial epithets.
If
Oh,
like
the
I
guy,
am not.
That's why I asked him if he's in Florida in
That has-
1972.
Oh.
I've
The
never
Canuck
been in
letter.
Florida in my entire life.
You've never been in Florida. in your
Never
entire
been to
life,
Florida.
And yet you want to run for mayor of Australia.
What does stray have to do with Florida?
It's the Antipodean Kingdom.
Wow, if he writes a book, it'll be sold surely on
Now,
friction.
who do you favor?
And
the
you're a news
Munchkins or the
reporter?
Winkies?
Neither.
I think he's the Munchkin.
Yeah,
Neither.
this is something to answer
I'm
very.
too tall to be a munchkin.
Answer this very
What about
carefully.
the Winkies? Well, you left that team, right?
I'm not skinny enough to be that.
Okay.
There
Enough.
were two other ethnic
It's
groups
5
in
o'clock.
Oz.
It's 5 o'clock.
Are you going to go
5:03.
down there
We're
and
having a
harass
barbecue.
our stalwart defenders of something or other?
Something or other. You can't even mention what it is.
Defenders of freedom, I
You're
hope.
awful tall, Glenn. You might, you're a better target.
He's like, what? What are you, like, 6'8"?
No,
Well, he's a little shorter than
I've only
Peter
been
White, who's 7'1".
I've
Yeah.
only,
You're
I've
about
only been
6'10"?
I've only been 6'4", and now I'm down to 6'1.5".
Oh.
How'd you shrink so much?
Because when you get older, you shrunk in your age.
No,
too.
I haven't. I'm still the same as I was in the
Oh.
Army at 25.
Well,
You must have sat a lot on chairs.
What does that have to do? I would think that walking would be more.
No, I think walking exercises your backbone.
I used to be about 6'4". But
What
I,
are you now?
But I found it too
You were
difficult.
6'4"?
Yeah, believe it or not, but I found it too difficult to fit into a car, so I had some vertebrae removed from my back.
Oh, like
What are
John
you now?
Wayne.
Now I'm 5'10".
Well, that's quite a shrinkage.
Yeah, well, they took out too much. I wanted to be 6 feet. They took out too much, and let's just say there's some litigation pending about that.
You could always grow longer hair, and it'll make up the difference, right?
It's pretty long now.
Yeah, but it's not.
Have you seen the artwork? You've seen the artwork,
Yes.
right? Have you seen the artwork, John, that Brendan McCormick did for me for the show?
Where,
no, I
where
didn't
you're
see that.
dressed
I have not
as
seen that
the mayor of Africa?
I have
No.
not seen
Or does
that.
that have to do with the Aroostook War?
No, not that artwork. Different artwork. The new artwork for the
Different.
show. I look like
Are
an
you
anime character.
Dishabille?
Am I what?
Dishabille?
What is that? Was that French? That
Was
sounds-
that inquiet?
oui or something. Or
You don't speak French?
Gerard
Hopwood?
Depardieu.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. Huh?
Oh.
You lost your tongue, huh?
You lost
No, I
your
still have
tongue.
my tongue.
That would be horrifying.
It's just not twisted anymore, huh?
What are you talking about?
I'm just combating what he's doing to me. That's all.
What is he doing to you? He's
Playing
very-
a game. I'm playing the same game.
Well, he's just very inquisitive because
Inquisitive?
you're a fascinating character.
Well,
the
it's
people's
better,
mayor.
this, I didn't have the authority to arrest you, but I decided to interrogate you.
Oh, what were you trying to arrest him for, by the way?
He doesn't even
Spreading
know.
scurrilous rumors.
Which doesn't exist.
About Kellyanne Conway?
It's he's
about the vice-
libeling and defaming
About the
something
about the vice president because he thinks it was
Vice
Pence.
president of what?
The vice president of the United States of America.
Already, he's not even the mayor of Australia yet, and he's causing trouble.
I know. He is.
Break time.
Was it break time?
Because Glenn wants to be piped out as befitting
Oh.
the mayor of Australia.
Oh my God.
I don't always bother on Friday to take a break because we go till 5:30 and then
Hey,
we
when
have
you're
to
the mayor-
end a little bit early.
When you're the mayor
Can
of
we go back to the topic of
when you're
national?
the come on, Nashville. Now we're back. Now
National.
we're back to the Aroostook War.
National.
Winfield Scott was in Nashville before they sent him up to Maine to bail Glenn and his
Well,
people out. When you're the mayor of
Nashville?
Australia, could you make Naomi Watts a grand dame of some order or another?
is she
I
up?
certainly wouldn't make you that.
I'm not asking for me. I'm asking for Naomi,
Is that-
Naomi Watts.
You wouldn't make a very nice madame.
Is that even allowed in Australia?
I have no idea. Yes, it is.
Oh,
How do you know?
you can be a madame.
How
Because I
do
know my
you know?
history. In fact,
So he,
what,
he's
what-
admitting he
what-
knows a lot
He's
more
been-
about Australia
what just
than he
happened-
admitted.
He's
what
been
just-
researching.
what just happened last few days in India? They turned over a 157-year-old law.
They turned over a 157-year-old man.
Law.
Was he-
law. L-A-W.
Maybe he was in the Aroostook War too.
Right.
I would have just left him alone.
Does this have anything to do with Billy Shea?
You know,
weren't in the
At
Yankee
this
division
point,
with Billy, were you?
we're going too far off.
Well, what is this law that was overturned? I'm genuinely curious because this got by me.
the one
It-
about the Moyles?
No,
Oh.
in India, if you're caught
Moiling?
eating, walking, touching another man's hand, you can go to prison for life.
Oh, yes. Okay.
They are now legalizing that part.
Oh.
That you can touch his hand. Can you touch his wahoo?
Excuse me, we're on radio and the children are listening, especially at Central High
Yeah,
School
because
they have nothing else to do
you're
right
spreading
now.
all these wild rumors. They're going to be afraid to go to the school because of all these disappearing
Oh
teachers and stuff.
Oh, my goodness.
Left behind. Hey, that would when we that'd be that's already played out, that genre.
Oh, hello to Brian Brody, who I see in the Facebook
Body
live
Brian.
chat. Brian recently completed 24 straight hours on the air online.
Is that why
Yes.
your voice is all torn up because you were taking over for him at times?
No.
He didn't cheat. He didn't cheat.
No, he didn't.
Of course not.
I called into the show, but no.
There you go.
What happened to your voice?
I just have a cold.
You caused it.
Oh, you just have a cold.
You must have spread your
Clap.
verminous germs.
Yeah, I have to go Tuesday. Or is it Tuesday?
Huh?
They're going to put the drill in there.
Put the drill in where?
Oh, go vote before you do that.
Where are they drilling?
Go vote before you do that. You'll
I'm
be
not
in pain.
voting.
You're not
You're
voting?
not voting?
No.
Oh, my goodness.
You must be a Trump guy then. They don't vote.
How did he get elected then, Glenn?
Not in primaries. They're not.
Not, see, think about
How did he win the
How did he
nomination?
win the primary? 60% of the New Hampshire vote. Glenn is, and here's the master of obfuscation.
We're not talking about.
We're not nail him on this real stuff.
We're not talking
that's
about
fake
presidential
news.
primaries here. We're talking about local
Then
primaries.
we wind up getting threatened with
New
lawsuits.
Hampshire law. Really? Have you been sued lately?
Not by you, but by
You
the
have been sued,
by
though.
the people behind you.
Oh, really?
Oh, I've been sued, but more
I
than
haven't been.
that.
I haven't been sued by people behind me.
You're not as important as I am.
No, because I have. No, it's not that. I'm not important. I
That
don't want to be
hurts.
important, but my facts are right.
My facts are right too.
I'm glad you think so.
You want to actually argue about that? You're going to defend that?
I wasn't around the 1800s that you keep saying that you thought I was.
But you're going to defend that. What
Defend
happened?
what?
You know what we're talking about.
No, I do not know what you're talking about.
Oh, he's
And
off
if it's a
on-
local issue, we're not supposed to discuss that here.
Well, that's true.
So why don't we go back to what we were doing that's really important nationally?
What about your
Because
political
your
career,
viewers,
your international political
your
career?
viewers are. That's what they're expecting.
What are they expecting?
They're not expecting local news or fake news or fantasized news.
So you're saying that what happened then?
No,
is
what I'm
fake?
saying is you said I was part of it, and I couldn't have been because I wasn't around.
Part of what?
I said, what kind of a man is this?
What kind of man is this? That he's taking one era and one place and mixing it up with another. I don't understand. I don't understand this. It's fiendish in a way, isn't it? You've been in politics too long.
I don't know if I'd go that far. It's fiendish. I wouldn't describe Glenn as fiendish.
What's below a fiend? You guys are both
Oh my
Catholics.
God, you're
There's like a
bad.
demonology, right?
Oh.
Cherub's an angel, right?
Would you stop
Of course.
discriminating against religious people?
I'm religious.
You should respect all religions.
Why? Should I respect some satanic cult that murders children?
No, I don't consider that a religion.
You don't, do you?
Oh,
When are you
hello,
going to respect satanic cults that
I'm not
murder
going to knock them
children?
off, but you know what? I'm not
You've
going
never,
to.
I guess he's never been to Washington D.C. Huh?
Oh my!
Are there a lot of satanics in Washington D.C.?
You've never been.
You would
never been to a
know.
pizza parlor.
I've been to Washington once in my life.
Hello
Only
to,
once. Well, I used to live there.
hello to Peter White, who joins us in the Facebook live chat.
Peter must
White,
be laughing his head off.
Peter White, of course, of
Cherubim.
the morning show with Peter
Yeah.
White.
Peter is about 7'1". He must be of a higher order of Nephilim.
I've seen him bump his head coming into the room. He's an extraordinarily
Now,
tall
Glenn,
man.
the Bible, and I think it's Genesis, talks about this race of giants that comes down and has carnal knowledge with humans. And then we get the flood, and Noah winds up in Armenia marrying some
So what does
dame.
that have to do with
and,
me?
Yeah, I'm curious to know that
Yeah,
too.
I'm
really.
just wondering about
I'm
the
waiting.
Book of Enoch.
We're waiting.
Here
I wasn't
he
around
is.
in that time.
You
Says who?
says who?
Says who?
Enoch.
Says
Oh,
God
yeah.
himself.
We should get him on the Norm Show, and we'll brace him like the detectives.
You're so funny.
Were
I
you
stand
there?
up here giving speeches for an hour and a half, many times without notes.
Yeah, that's John.
Were
Hopwood.
you there when the Ark
No, I was not. Were
landed
you?
in Armenia?
Were you?
I've only heard rumors.
That was a big
Oh.
day. That was a big day.
He might have been one of the giants making whoopee and causing all sorts of hell.
Right. That's why we do need to do a past life regression on Glenn to find that out, because that's a big deal, and that'll help you win. You could be mayor of Armenia.
You can't even hypnotize me. What are you talking about?
Well, I can't.
I'm
if
one
you
of
let
those
me.
that can't get hypnotized. You
Well,
know that.
You can. Anyone can be hypnotized, but you do have to allow it to happen.
That's
yes.
correct.
Right. Right.
Glenn's afraid
It's
of what will
No, it's
come
against
out.
my religion.
It's
What
against your
religion?
religion.
That's right. Which one is it?
What religion doesn't allow you to be hypnotized?
Aren't you Catholic? The Catholics embraced
Roman Catholic.
The Vatican embraced
I am
hypnosis
Catholic, but
in the 1950s.
You know, I go to many other denominations, and it doesn't mean nothing.
It's just a plethora of stuff. If you anything, you probably talk about this, that, or the other thing, and you've got all the bases covered. Truly a man for all seasons.
Yes.
For Oz, Africa, whatever.
Yes.
Glenn.
Well,
what
I
are we
really
gonna
came
do with
here
Glenn?
to discuss
How do you handle what was the song
issues
from,
that are important. If you're going to talk about
what was the song from
books
the
that
Sound
aren't
of
even
Music?
written yet,
How do we
might as well
handle a
just leave.
problem named Glenn?
Is that how it goes?
I don't think
I
I'm
think
the problem.
so.
I think John Hopwood is the problem.
Oh my!
Have you ever
goodness.
performed in drag?
No. Have you?
Surprisingly,
Why
no.
would you be surprised? I'm not.
I said no. You asked me.
I'm
I said
not into that.
surprisingly
You
no.
know who has America's mayor, Rudy Giuliani.
Oh, I
Oh,
thought John has.
Yeah.
Yes, he has, hasn't he? I've seen him.
Yes, he has.
No,
with Mr. Trump.
they attempted to force me into drag when I was like 3 or 4 years old, but I refused.
Didn't we see a picture on the news the other day? I forget which channel it was on, but one of those nightly.
Nightingale.
They showed a picture of Trump, and he kind of kissed the hand of the woman, and it was Mike
Pence.
Cohen. No,
Mike Pence was in drag.
no, his lawyer.
Rudy Giuliani. Yeah.
No, the other one.
Have you ever seen Melania Trump and Mike Pence in the same
Michael
picture?
Cohen, the one
Michael
that's in trouble?
Cohen.
Yes.
He kissed Michael Cohen's hand.
He was also in drag.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
So you should Google that.
Mm.
Might find the picture.
I'm gonna look.
You might find the picture.
Do you
Okay.
think terms?
I was shocked when I saw that.
Oh my!
I
Do you-
didn't expect that of him.
Mm.
Do you think terms, political terms like panty waist, are taboo?
But those aren't
in-
political terms.
In 1988.
Those are sexist terms.
1988. What year are we in, Mal? What year did we come back? to?
This
Wow, he doesn't even know what year we're in.
This is the year of our
Well, you're
Lord,
timeless.
2018.
Oh, I'm 30 years off. So panty waist is like 30 years.
I don't think anyone
30, 40 years.
says that
You
anymore.
know, John
yeah.
should write a fantasy book. He'd make
George-
a lot of money.
George Wallace he used to call liberals sissy britches.
I don't see anything about Michael Cohen
Hey,
in
it's-
drag,
And
Glenn
sissy
R.J. Ouellette.
britches?
All right, but I saw it, so they obviously.
Are you sure you're not confusing him with
No,
Giuliani?
it wasn't Giuliani. I've heard of Giuliani doing that before.
Because there is video of Trump kissing Giuliani's hand while he's in drag. It's for something they did for charity years ago.
Some charity.
So
Yeah.
you're saying Rudy Giuliani is a sissy britches?
Well, I would never say that about America's mayor, although I do think he has the crazy eyes going.
Well, we're going back to the 50s next week, so you're gonna have to remember some of this stuff.
Why are we going back to the 50s?
It's just part of that random.
I didn't know this was a
generator.
50s show.
No, I don't.
That 50s show.
Well, I mean, I'd love to time travel. I think it'd be fascinating. I'd love to go back and meet Richie and Fonzie and
Huggy Bear.
Joni
Or
back
was
in the
Huggy
day.
Bear the 70s?
Fonzie's still alive. What are you talking about? He's not that old.
Oh, Henry Winkler, yes.
Yeah.
Is Antonio Fargas still alive?
Who's that?
I'm not sure.
Huggy Bear and Starsky and
Huggy
Hutch.
Bear. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not sure. We just lost a good actor this week, 82
So
years
who?
old.
Did
Reynolds?
you ever go to
Yes.
Hollywood?
Burt Reynolds.
No, have you?
Yeah,
You
I've been to
lived in
Hollywood.
California, so you should have.
I've been to Hollywood.
He's got you there.
Oh, everybody
True.
knows I've been.
He's
I've
been
been
to California. He lived in California.
Yes.
I lived in California.
Where has he not lived?
I haven't lived in Australia,
No. So you get that means
Neither
you
have
can't.
I.
that-
and I never have been to Africa.
Neither have I.
so you
I'd
can't.
be dead now if I'd gone to Africa.
Really?
Why would you be dead?
I've told you about that.
CIA.
Oh yes.
Top secret.
Or maybe I just thought I did, and then I had to cleanse your mind.
Right. I know
What
what,
were
you're
you talking about?
I can't remember.
I better get over to the Granite Square and wave a sign. I get free drinks afterwards.
Are you gonna get goose by
Wow.
Heidi Hammer?
No,
You
it's been a
campaign
long
for
time
someone to
since
get
Heidi
free
goosed
drinks?
me.
Campaign for someone because you believe in them, not because you get free drinks.
Yeah, but
I'm not even voting
there's
for
nothing.
anybody.
There's nothing wrong with inducements.
No, but when I campaign for someone or endorse someone, it's because I really believe in that person.
If I were going to
Who
campaign
do you
for
ever
you, I would
campaign
want,
for except
some
yourself?
drinks.
That's not nice because that's not fair.
I've never seen you
'cause it's
campaign
not
for
true.
anybody.
Oh, that's not true. Ask Bill.
Sue me,
ask
then.
Bill Berry. I campaigned many times for him on the
I
West Side.
never saw
In
you
fact,
with a sign
you were
with Bill
there one
Berry.
day.
No,
Yes,
this
on,
is man.
on
This
the
is straight
corner
out
of
of
2nd
Stalin.
Street and Queen City Ave.
I'm gonna bring that book in again.
Yeah.
You know, where everybody, suddenly people disappear from photos with Stalin. With him, he's adding himself in.
Oh my God.
Christ, you'll be with Lenin. All wasn't we sacked the Petrograd.
That's what he's doing on the computer upstairs all that time.
That's
he's
what he's doing with
photoshopping
Oz.
pictures.
Do you know what? We do not have. We don't.
And his hostility
We
towards
do
Naomi
not. We're
Watts
not
is
allowed to have
incredible.
internet up there. So what are you talking about?
If
I don't know. Peter White told me something about you photoshopping pictures up there.
I don't think so.
with the chest and all that.
Yes.
Hey,
Oh, my God.
If Naomi Watts was good enough for
Nasty.
King Kong, why isn't it good enough for you as the mayor of Australia? Why isn't she good enough for you?
Are you King Kong?
Only
You don't look
Mighty
like
Joe
it.
Young is more my
yeah.
he was
You
small.
are no
Yes.
King Kong.
I knew King Kong. King Kong was a friend of mine. You
And
are
he
no
wasn't-
King
yeah,
Kong.
you are no King Kong.
Yes.
Oh,
Not close.
I'm hurt.
Well,
Can't even growl
as
like
you
him.
should be. Yes.
Actually, yes, that King Kong is from New Zealand, but we seldom talk about him.
Right.
Oh.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Have you been there too?
I've never been to New Zealand.
Okay.
Maybe you should run for mayor of New Zealand.
It's a very
Why would I
beautiful
want to do that?
country.
Because it's beautiful there.
I love
wouldn't
where
ex-
I am.
They wouldn't accept Glenn in New Zealand.
He could then work his
They
way up
wouldn't
to
accept
Australia.
He's too
either then.
tall.
I'm too tall.
Oh, right.
And you're too short,
Hobbits.
right?
No, I'm perfect. Hobbit man.
Right. There you go.
Actually, Bobbits are actually shorter than you.
Bobbits?
What about the Winkies?
I don't know.
Who are the
You
other
would know
ethnic
that.
groups of Oz? There's the Winkies, the Munchkins.
You're talking about Oz, that show about prison?
No, he's talking
No,
about the Wizard of Oz.
Australia.
Oh, right.
That
Oh,
where
wait a
where
minute.
he's going to be emperor.
That wasn't filmed in Australia. That was filmed in America.
You're running for Emperor of Australia?
The Lord of the Rings was filmed in New Zealand.
Yes, The Lord of the Rings. But we were talking about Oz.
That was filmed in Culver City. MGM Studios.
That's right.
Burt Reynolds died.
We just said that, didn't we?
I
Yes.
no longer have my
He
great catch
procrastinates.
line for ex-girlfriends. You treat me worse than somebody would treat Burt Reynolds.
The line will still work even though he's dead.
Are you,
They're younger.
you
and
gonna
they don't know
go-
who Burt Reynolds
Oh,
are you going to go
right.
to his wake in Florida? He's from Florida.
is. He is from Florida.
Yes, he is.
He played football at the University of
That's
Florida.
correct.
He had a place in West Palm Beach and a place in Jupiter. His father was a sheriff, I think.
And he was
someplace
quite a
around
giving
there.
person back to the community.
Was he?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I'm just sad that another great mustache has left us.
Yeah.
Who's next? Tom Selleck?
You know,
John
you-
Oates?
you
Wilford
could-
Brimley?
You compare him. Time magazine had a cover story about 78 or 79 where it was about Burt Reynolds, but they put Clint Eastwood in, too, as an afterthought.
Oh,
Really?
Because both were directing.
Yeah.
But,
I didn't know Burt Reynolds directed.
oh,
Yeah, he did.
He
I didn't-
directed about 5 movies.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And he was the top. He's tied Bing Crosby's record. He was 5 times the #1 box office star, 5 years in a row. They were the only two until Tom Cruise later and
Ooh.
some others, many years later. But he just burned out,
Yeah.
Burned himself out. Where Clint Eastwood became an institution and a great director.
Mm-hmm.
But Eastwood said he had a bad. They were friends from the times. They were both the same. About Eastwood's 1930, so Burt was about 5 years younger. But they started in TV, Burt was
Right.
in late 50s and stuff, coming up, and they were
Reynolds
friends.
was born the same day. It's not the same day. The same year, 1936, as McCain was.
Oh, I thought it
know
was 35.
It said 36 on the news today.
Well, 35 is McCain, so it must be.
No, it
35.
was 36.
Mm.
Okay, it was either one.
They were
But,
both 36.
But
Yeah.
he had a terrible back injury, I guess, in the early 80s. And,
And
it
that's-
affected him in his career.
It
Because
did.
he had to take painkillers.
It did.
And then he
Mhm.
developed, like, the jaw. I can't remember what it's called, but I had a friend, the mandibular problem. And his
Really?
career, it affected his
It
career.
really did.
Because it blows his timing.
Mm-hmm.
That he
Oh.
wasn't the same actor. Because Eastwood talked about And Richard Schickel, who
I didn't know any of that.
was a great writer about film. But,
Hello to your friend Thomas Massengale joins us in the Facebook live chat.
But there's a big difference, too. Burt was always on TV. He used to always be on the Johnny Carson show hosting, where Clint was very parsimonious about being out there. And
Reynolds
his
was a
personality.
comedian.
Yeah.
He was a comedian of his own. He was great. He was funny.
Well, he was funny.
He was funny.
And Deliverance, he was excellent in a dramatic role.
He was.
And
And a
he
good
just-
car racer, wasn't he?
I don't know about that. But he relied too much on
Oh.
that.
You're thinking of Stroke
Ease-
or Ace.
The comedy and the charm,
Yeah.
rather than develop as an actor. Where Clint worked at his craft. Clint was so minimalist.
Right.
But by the time $1 Million Baby, that's one of the best portrayals of a man in old age I've seen.
Yeah, yeah.
And he developed, and Burt just stagnated after all that great success that only very few people have ever had. 5 times the #1 box office star. Like Paul Newman was one of the greats, only twice, and Redford only 2 or 3 times.
Tom Massingale says
burns
that he says Hop is your Ed McMahon,
Wow.
but smarter.
I kind of agree.
Then Ed McMahon.
Apparently,
That's you're attacking Ed McMahon because he's an Irish Catholic. Huh?
Oh, come on.
We've had enough of this
Wow.
Catholic bias.
I know it's
Kavanaugh
really,
and now Ed McMahon.
It permeates everything. It really does.
Oh yeah, they wouldn't even. I bet he wouldn't even put Ed McMahon on the Supreme Court. Ed would be perfect. Although he'd be 3.
He's
beers
dead, right?
shy
I was going to
of-
say, yeah, he's no longer with us.
Yeah.
I learned how to pour a beer. From
He's not
Ed.
that desperate to get him out of the grave.
Trump,
My God.
well, Trump,
He'd
though,
be as good as Kavanaugh.
Trump may not even realize that Ed McMahon is dead. I mean,
So
Trump,
now he's anti-Catholic.
No,
You're
had nothing to
attacking
do with
religion.
has
Trump
nothing to do
didn't,
with that.
You're
Trump-
anti-Irish Catholic.
Trump didn't know that Frederick Douglass was dead.
Is he?
You raise a good point there.
How do you know?
It could be fake
Want
news.
to go open up his grave? Just because he hasn't been around
That's
for a couple
gross.
of years.
There's going to be worms and stuff. I don't want any of that. That's
I think
disgusting.
that since he died, about
But you know that Aretha Franklin.
Did you hear what he said? The Wizard of
No, I didn't
Frank.
say anything
Yeah.
about
Wizard of Frank. Who's the Wizard of Frank?
Aretha Franklin's casket cost $50,000 because it was bronze.
Yeah.
A lot of money for a casket.
Yeah. Are you
You're
saying
still-
she's not worth it? The
No,
freedom
and
she
song?
had been bronze?
and it's her money. She has her right. But the thing is, you're still going to have worms and bugs.
I
Yeah.
wouldn't mind being bronzed.
You still
That's
rot.
why, that's why I personally, my attitude has always been I could not care less what they do with me
Yeah.
after I
If they
die.
bronzed me, would I
agree.
be
I want to
burned
get
up
cremated
inside?
and throw me wherever you want to. But if I have anything left over, give it to someone that really needs it.
But
What's going to be left over?
Probably not much. I'm a poor man.
or something?
I don't mind
You're
being a
winky.
poor man. Being a rich man doesn't make you a happy
If
person.
I was a poor man.
Doesn't make you a happy person.
isn't it diddle deedle
Yeah, but
something like
this
that?
is Glenn's song.
Oh,
if
right.
I was
My
a poor
song?
man.
You're singing it.
If you weren't poor, you could, afford to run for more offices.
Really? I'm not interested in running for more
Could have
office.
run for Congress.
I'm not interested in Congress. Never
You
have.
could
been.
have run for governor.
I'm not interested in that either.
I think you'd make a great governor.
Yeah, he's running for mayor of Australia.
Right.
I'm not
How's he
interested in that either.
financing this?
There's no such
Dubai.
thing as a mayor of Australia.
I think
Dubai.
it's George Soros actually who's financing him.
Governor
Yeah.
of Australia.
Yes. It's
Oh.
perfect.
Go
If
away,
you can get Paul Hogan to endorse you, you've got it.
How about Archimedes?
What did he just say to me?
He said
I was
Archimedes.
talking to him.
Oh, what did he just say to you?
He's talking Greek. It's all Greek to
It's
me.
not
I think
Greek.
it's Pig Latin.
It's Big Latin.
Am scray.
Tom says if you guys would get the occasional girl in a bikini on the show, you'd be bigger than Stern.
We've tried.
Not
Wow.
interested.
Wow.
You're not interested, but maybe
I don't want to
we
be.
are.
I don't want to be bigger than Stern.
You're not
Oh,
interested in
I-
girls in bikinis.
we-
is
We're
what
talking
I
about
heard.
Stern here.
We thought you meant something else. I would like to
No.
be bigger than Stern.
You would?
I'd like to have that bank account. Well, Howard Stern's the most successful broadcaster
Well,
in the
that
history of
he is.
radio.
But
I
So-
wouldn't mind just having the girl in the bikini.
Well,
you can have her then.
Where is she?
Ask Trump. He might know.
well, I think
No,
he's-
no,
he's plenty of them.
He's showing his un-Americanism.
Oh,
again.
there we go again.
Mm-hmm.
It's
You
a
don't
matter
even
of
wear,
fact.
You don't even
so-
wear a flag necktie like Keith Hirschman.
Excuse me, I have a flag necktie.
And you don't
I
wrap
have
yourself in
several
the
of them.
flag like JKO.
Do you have a flag pin?
And he calls himself an
Yes, I
American.
do.
You do have a flag
Yes,
pin?
I do.
And did you wear it when you ran for mayor?
I probably did.
You probably did.
Probably.
Oh,
He
probably.
doesn't even know.
I
Look
wear.
at the
I pretty much.
obfuscation.
I'm
He's
pretty-
playing rope a
I,
dope, and he
I
thinks
only
we're the
wear
dope.
pins like that on a tie or on a lapel of a
I thought
suit
you used them
jacket.
to pin your drawers up.
Oh my god!
Well, you did lose a lot of weight a few years ago. That's why you know.
Well, when you're sick, that's
Well,
what
we're not
happens.
going to bring up the robes.
When you're sick,
Wouldn't
that's
he
what
look
happens.
good in judicial robes?
Oh my god! Here we
There
go.
you
See,
go.
maybe that's why he doesn't want a nomination to the Supreme Court. Because he doesn't. The robe.
He doesn't like robes?
The robe.
Oh.
Who star?
I
who
thought he did
was-
like robes.
Did you
Who
see
was
robe
the
or robe
female
of
star
reverses?
of the robe, 1953?
Mm,
Richard
Garushka
Burton's co-star.
I don't know. You tell us, since you know it all.
She played what's her name in Guys and Dolls against Marlon Brando.
Well, tell us what her name is.
Gene Simmons.
Thank you.
Says who?
Says
No-
who? Yes.
Not the same Gene Simmons as the one who is near and dear to my heart, obviously. a
Now,
different,
who
different
did
Gene
you have a
Simmons.
crush on, Gene Simmons or Stuart Granger, her husband?
Say that again. That was a trick question. Husband?
Well, you're playing rope
I said,
and
what kind of a man
Not
is
a
this?
husband.
We have to fight back. Yeah, Gene Simmons was married to James Stewart.
Yes, but that's what you said.
Which was the real
you
name
mentioned
of Stuart
two women,
Granger.
then you put in the word husband. It
Stuart
made no
Granger,
sense.
James Stewart, who went by the name Stuart Granger, was the
I am too intelligent
husband of Gene
to be
Simmons.
cracked by you.
Cracked?
You know, I mean,
So you
when
didn't like the musical
when you
Guys and
investigate
Dolls?
someone, you try to crack them down.
You don't like Guys and Dolls?
The movie?
Do you like guys or dolls?
The movie?
Maybe we can get this done.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, who played Sky Masterson in Guys and Dolls?
Why is it you end early on Friday? There's no show.
You're
after
the
you,
one who
is
brought
there?
up Frank Sinatra.
Yes.
Oh, that's right, the music show.
Granted State of Mind, yes.
Yes.
That's why we do need to begin to wrap up.
Yeah.
What is there's a concert on the river? Is it River's Edge or River's Front?
What are you talking about? It's
I
called
don't know.
Arms Park.
Where's the? Is there a concert today?
Today, no. Tomorrow there'll be a couple of bands there because there's the arts festival.
I heard there was
Oh.
a concert tonight.
Well, then go and find out.
A politician told me that.
Good. Is it created by a politician?
No, but she said she couldn't come to the waving because she was going to a concert at River's Edge tonight.
Ah.
I won't name her name.
River's Edge.
So we've never got.
That's a housing project.
We never
or something.
got a answer to whether Glenn likes guys or dolls.
I just told you the movie.
Guys or
You're
dolls?
not answering.
I'll go with dolls.
Neither.
You?
I'll go with dolls.
Oh my
You?
God! I'm not a dull person.
Are you going to?
I'm not a
straddle
dull
the
person.
fence?
I'm not a dull person either.
A doll.
Dull.
Doll.
I said dull.
Kukla. Kukla means doll.
I'm not into the Ku Klux Klan, and here comes the next
Kukla.
show.
You remember Kukla? Now we
No,
say,
that's not,
are you saying
that-
Kukla,
He's
Fran,
a
and
guest,
Ollie?
right?
Right.
Are you saying Kukla, Fran, and Ollie was communist?
No, I didn't say that at all. You're
That was
saying,
Adlai Stevenson's
You're
favorite TV
You're
show.
just putting words in my mouth.
Oh,
You
my
heard
goodness.
Donald Trump.
Kukla.
He's
The little
lost
puppet.
it up
I
here.
said Ku Klux Klan is the long
Kukla,
ways from
Fran, and
Ku Klux.
Ollie.
Gosh.
I've never heard such calumnies against Americans.
All
He
right.
can't be an true American.
Okay. Well, on
I
that
stand
note,
up here giving
I'm a-
speeches for an hour and a half,
Yeah,
many
keep-
times without
keep giving-
notes.
That's John.
All
You
right,
should
we-
have a.
we
if-
gotta
if-
go.
If you had a flag tattooed to your chest,
I'm sorry,
glanced to
I
think
don't
what
have no
country it would be.
tattoos. Another fake news. I have no tattoos.
Are you sure of that?
I'm not into tattoos. I
Have
don't
you ever
mind people
checked
having
your
them, but I'm
Me
not into them.
Have you ever checked your hiney?
Excuse me, I have no tattoos. I'm not into pain, okay? I've had enough pain in my life.
You
All
could
right.
have been tattooed.
We gotta wrap up.
surreptitiously.
This has
Don't
been
you
a
think?
crazy show.
yes, well, Fridays can be like that. So, of course, this has been Matt
Remind me
Connarton
next
Unleashed
time.
in the afternoon.
I bet you he is
We,
tattooed.
he might be,
I'm
secretly, yes. We do wrap up a little bit early on Fridays because coming up at 6 p.m. is Granite State of Mind, hosted by the great Rob Azevedo, and he has live musicians coming and play, so they need time to set up, and I don't mind getting out of here a little early on a Friday. Plus, with my voice and the condition that it's in, I'm sure by Monday it will be back to normal. But, gentlemen, thank you so much, John Hopwood, and, of course, the People's Mayor.
Shall we stop at
going to the-
margaritas and get you some honey?
Are you going to the block party up at Central?
Yeah, no, it's on Hanover.
I thought you said there was a block party.
At Hanover.
Up near Aloha, the restaurant? We can drop in on Chris Herbert.
No, it's not.
Or is it Hebert?
No, it's where
Is it
Hebert.
Herbert or
the
Hebert?
farm center used to be. The now called the Flat.
That's Herbert.
Why doesn't Chris Hebert ever talk about
there's a-
Manchester on his show?
There's a bistro there.
I don't know. He doesn't
Why
talk
does he
about.
talk about what?
He doesn't talk about Manchester
Why
on his
doesn't
show.
Chris Hebert ever talk about Manchester?
What
on
a
his
jerk.
show?
I
He
can't believe
talks
it.
a lot about Manchester, especially the night after
The nuns?
the
now,
night
now he's after the
night
Nutcase Church again.
after
Yes.
the automatic meeting. He talked again this week.
All
I
right,
don't
we got to
belie-
go.
I don't believe you.
If you
Well, you
missed,
don't watch the show, then do you?
You'd be, there's only two people that watch the show, and that's Chris is watching it on the monitor.
No, my
Yes.
And Paul.
He gets phone calls, so how can you say that?
all right.
From
if,
who?
If you missed any part of today's
People
show,
in Manchester.
it'll be up in just a
From
little bit.
Rooster Connie?
All right. I'm muting your mics.
Thank you.
We got to get out of here. If you missed any part of the show, it'll be up in just a little bit at WMNHradio.org. I apologize for my voice, but I'm sure, like I said, by Monday it'll be back to normal. Anyway, stick around. Granite State of Mind is coming up next at 6 p.m. And that's it for now. I will talk at y'all a little bit later. Bye, everybody.